Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Meghan Markle has returned to acting for the first time since stepping away from royal life, appearing as herself in the upcoming Amazon MGM comedy Close Personal Friends. The Duchess of Sussex was seen on set in Pasadena, filming alongside Brie Larson, Lily Collins, Jack Quaid and Henry Golding. An insider told People that Meghan appeared relaxed and happy during the shoot, adding she introduced herself to everyone and was very sweet and down to earth. The film follows a couple who befriend a famous pair during a trip to Santa Barbara, fittingly close to Meghan and Prince Harry's home in Montecito. According to a studio source quoted by The Sun, this is a massive moment for Meghan and signifies a return to doing what she truly loves. She has been swamped with offers, but this one felt right. The source added, it's Meghan's way of gently putting her toe back in the water and seeing how she enjoys being back on set. Everyone involved is super excited and has been sworn to secrecy about her involvement. The small role marks Meghan's first appearance on screen since leaving her role in Suits 8 years ago, following her engagement to Prince Harry. And according to the insider, the Duke of Sussex is of course really supportive and quite simply wants Meghan to do whatever brings her joy. The Meghan news stepped on Prince William's big night, which is surely not to be received well by the Wales family. Prince William's Earthshot Prize ceremony brought global superstars to Rio on Wednesday night, with Kylie Minogue and Shawn Mendes headlining the awards show at the Museum of Tomorrow. William arrived wearing a black tie Tom Ford suit, appropriately given the environmental theme. It was a rewear. Kylie also wore a Stella McCartney rewear and praised the awards as amazing people doing incredible things. The prince walked the green carpet, meeting performers and stopping to chat with a group of 100 local young people. Among them was 13-year-old Giovanna Castro, who had travelled 130 kilometres with her father, bringing a drawing of William and Kate on their wedding day. William stopped to chat for several minutes and appeared touched by the gift. In his speech, William acknowledged current uncertainty but remained optimistic. I understand that some might feel discouraged in these uncertain times. I understand that there is still so much to be done. But this is no time for complacency. The 5 winners included Ree Green for restoring Brazil's Atlantic forest, the High Seas Alliance for Ocean Protection, Lagos Fashion Week for sustainable fashion, Friendship for climate solutions, and the city of Bogotá for reducing air pollution by 24%. William also met with Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, former New Zealand PM Jacinda Ardern, and Brazilian Environment Minister Marina Silva. When asked about recent references to making changes to the monarchy, William replied, I think the Earthshot Prize is a classic example of change. Rather than talking about it, we're doing it. After the ceremony, William joked with presenter Sebastian Vettel, gesturing to Brazilian football legend Cafu. We played football together yesterday and I beat him. In The Spectator, Alexander Larman writes, Cometh the hour, cometh the Prince of Wales. At least that is what Prince William and those around him will be desperately hoping the result of his trip this week to Rio will be. A reset for the royal family after weeks of terrible, existentially damaging headlines. Mainly, but not entirely, revolving around the Andrew formerly known as Prince. Whether he will be successful in this, especially given the current actions of his estranged younger brother, is another question altogether. The Prince's tour is a tightly choreographed series of days that combines stunts typical of the royal family for time immemorial, of course. William was photographed hugging an oblivious but photogenic baby, with a new focus on environmentalism and the climate. The speech at COP30 is expected not only to dominate headlines, but also to show him as a globally engaged figure, a politician in all but name. This is what he and the firm have been planning ever since his grandmother's death, a smoothing of the legacy, so that when he eventually becomes king, he will be seen as a truly modern monarch. In what the Duke of Sussex's camp insists is mere coincidence, he has headed to Canada for a series of Remembrance Day events, which is also a reminder that he, rather than his elder brother, is the royal most closely associated with the military. Certainly, although Harry claims that Buckingham Palace was informed of his movements, it feels like a deliberate attempt to draw attention in his own direction, and once again, it might succeed in doing so. And with the prospect of a whole tranche of Jeffrey Epstein emails still waiting to emerge, as well as whatever Harry does next, this will not be the last time that a royal visit runs the risk of being relegated to the in other news column. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, will play a leading role in next week's national commemorations, joining veterans and service families at the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire to mark Armistice Day. Kensington Palace confirmed that Catherine will attend the remembrance service at the Armed Forces Memorial, where she will lay a wreath and join the nation in observing the 2-minute silence at 11 a.m. The event will be a central part of the country's tributes to those who have served and sacrificed in conflict. The princess's visit follows a weekend of remembrance that will see the King, Queen, and other senior royals attend the Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall on Saturday evening, and the annual service at Cenotaph in London on Sunday morning. At the Arboretum, the service will feature a reading of a specially commissioned poem by poet-in-residence Aji Manalpillai, exploring themes of connection, duty, and the shared experiences of military families, subjects that have long been close to the princess's heart. Musical performances will come from talent in the ranks and black voices. Following the ceremony, Catherine will view the newly dedicated names inscribed on the Armed Forces Memorial and meet veterans in attendance. She will also spend time with secondary school students from military families whose parents are currently deployed to highlight the often unseen contribution made by service families. The princess is also expected to tour Letters from the Front Line, Words, War and Victory, a special exhibition produced in partnership with the BBC radio stations across the Midlands, which showcases correspondence between service members and their loved ones during the closing months of the Second World War. Meanwhile, King Charles will lead the Remembrance Sunday service at the Cenotaph, laying a wreath designed in the style of those placed by his grandfather, King George VI, and his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Camilla's wreath will be laid on her behalf by her equerry, echoing the design of the Queen Mother's. Princess Anne will represent the Crown overseas, attending a remembrance service at the Anzac Memorial in Sydney, Australia, alongside her husband, Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence. More on Palace in just a moment. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor may soon be living in quiet exile on the shores of the Persian Gulf. The disgraced royal has been offered use of a lavish waterfront villa within the Abu Dhabi's Sea Palace compound, the heavily guarded residence of the United Arab Emirates ruling family and home to the Emirati Navy's headquarters. The property was made available to Andrew by UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, known as MBZ, a long-time acquaintance from their school days at Gordonstown. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the Sheikh reportedly ordered a full refurbishment of one of the private villas in the complex. Designers said the updated home aims to blend classical grandeur with youthful and playful elements, using bold colours and marble finishes to modernise the palace-style setting. The 6-bedroom residence includes a home cinema, indoor plunge pool and gym, as well as a large kitchen staffed by cordon bleu chefs with gold detailing on the lamps, taps and even the light switches. When the Sea Palace compound, originally built in the 18th century as a watchtower, was placed at Andrew's disposal in 2010, Buckingham Palace stressed it was not a gift, but the offer of renewed use now gives the former prince a way to retreat from the glare of public life. For Bloomberg, Max Hastings writes, exiling Andrew over Epstein isn't enough to fix the royals. Per Hastings, the squalid story should probably be viewed in a wider context of the royal family's historic sense of entitlement. This has caused even its junior members for centuries to pursue ill-judged friendships with rich and often disreputable people who are eager to entertain and fund princelings in pursuit of their own respectability and advancement. As Prince of Wales, King Charles borrowed yachts from controversial Greek tycoons such as John Latsis and Theodore Angelopoulos, and accepted cash for his favourite causes from Arab princes whose affairs did not bear scrutiny. Queen Elizabeth II regularly entertained and was entertained by Middle Eastern potentates who shared her passion for horses. She attended the Royal Windsor Horse Show in company with the late businessman Mohammed Fayed, then owner of Harrods, who, according to Hastings, was widely recognised as a scoundrel and sexual predator. During World War II, when the former King Edward VIII, who had renounced the throne in 1936, was exiled as governor of the Bahamas, the security services expressed alarm about his links to pro-Nazi figures with whom he consorted on the islands. The story is always the same as it remains today with Andrew Windsor. Those who are born royal demand a standard of living that their incomes cannot support. The question in some of our minds is whether, as Britain slips deeper into economic woe, the king's subjects will continue to indulge both his private extravagance and his obsessive secrecy that shrouds the royal finances. Royal wills are never published. Little is disclosed about Charles and Camilla's spending. My personal guess is that somehow the crown will come through, but it has to change. The rotten apples, of whom Andrew is by far the rottenest, must be purged. The financial excesses must be curbed. The property portfolio slashed. The mystique of royalty must be preserved, but windows must be thrown open against its obsessive secrecy. We are fortunate enough to have a good king, but Charles heads an institution that appears vulnerable to winds of change, even if Donald Trump goes weak at the knees whenever he gets to have dinner at Windsor Castle. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please check in on us on Facebook and Instagram. Come say hi. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.